10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, poor little dude.
He smoked him.
Oh, that's sad. Aww. Well, testing was wild, Slam and Sam, and I'm glad that.
Hey, just like the Monster Energy, I'm just going to go ahead and pop that top, baby. Pop in the supercharger and let's roll.
Testing was wild. That was some of the carnage, and yes, we do have to say there were animals harmed in the filming of that footage.
Man, the last time I seen a bird get hit like that, I think Randy Johnson or somebody was throwing a fastball for the Diamondbacks, and it's just like, man, like, Lee, let's hold on. We got to scoot back here. We got to take this in. What's up, everybody? This is a Power Hour. I'm Slamming Sam. This is a Monday morning race. Monday morning racer. The craft. Yeah, that way. It's. But Lee, man, what better weather could someone ask for testing? I mean, clear skies, nice little breeze, I would say, in the desert. There's a nice breeze going.
Yes, great atmosphere. Spectacular weather. Yes, spectacular weather of the entire test session. I think some call it that Chamber of Commerce type weather, and we had it each and every day. And it got just a little bit cooler at night, and the way the track is situated, when it goes into full shade, the track temp seems to drop, and you can see some wild passes just like we saw with Ron Capps and others going into the night. And we got it all at testing, and testing was spectacular. And I believe it just sets us up for a spectacular season in 2022. Maybe, very well, maybe one of the greatest seasons NHRA will experience. I think that is going to be the case. And I think we saw the prelude to it in testing for sure.
Oh, and I agree 100% with you, Lee. Like, I mean, we've been talking about this the last couple of weeks on the show, is what do we expect out of 2022? Like, what can we expect? I mean, going into Pomona right now, new surface. They've been working on the track. The NHRA track prep team has been out there doing what they need to do so that the winter nationals go down like they're supposed to. So I think that's really great. Another thing that I want to point out is we always give people shout outs on the show of what they do or what they're up to. I want to give it a shout out to Stan. That man was out there in the sun all day watching testing. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, if you're a fan of this sport, if you get the chance to do that, take your family, take a loved one, or whatever it may be to testing, stay an extra day after the national event. You might be able to see some testing there. And it's just cool to be able to have those moments, Lee, and I know you felt that, where you can just sit there and talk with a guest, or talk with, one of the drivers or the team, or even just someone that's out there, hanging out that knows who we are. It's really cool. And, you see people at testing, you see people, random places. I mean, I seen a guy in the airport and he's like, "Hey, I know who you are," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I know who you are," and I'm like, "No, you don't. Like, I'm not wearing anything racing, nothing.
Right.
Like, I mean, other than my camera bag, I swear there was no way this guy should have known I had anything to do with racing." And he's like, "Yeah, you're Slamming Sam," and I'm like, "All right, dude, pause. Like, wait a minute, how do you know that?" But I mean, it's really cool to see. Getting back to the season, man, I think silly season is still out. I mean, there's still some secrets that a lot of people didn't know about, but those came about. Travis made a big announcement, and he's working on a 10 race deal with the team. Great thing with
not just
what?
a team. We're talking about the Myers.
Well, can I? I'm trying to prelude to that. I was gonna say, thank you to the Myers family for trusting and believing in him and giving him that opportunity. I mean, he was out there with Julia Natas. They were testing, getting some things dialed in. Like you said, you had the strong force crew out there. Robert, unfortunately, as we saw in that video, Lee and I got to see that pass very live. Went kaboom. And that's the thing about testing. If you're not going to throw the kitchen sink at it at that point, when you have the time to, maybe get a couple of motors back or send a new body, if you're not going to throw it at if you're not going to go for the home run, then how do you know what it will and it will not take during the season? So seeing Robert do that was letting you know that, they're not hiding anything and they're not holding back. I think one of the highlights about, what was I going to say? Oh, sorry, I'm trying to read comments at the same time. Can't multitask. The highlight was seeing Matt Hagan and Leah Stewart Pruitt. I don't really know how she's going to go there. I don't know what we're supposed to say. Seeing them run together. Leah, I don't know if you have that clip.
Stan says it. Look, Top Fuel versus Funny Car at testing, Matt versus Leah. It was definitely a cool deal. And yes, we do have the Competition Plus footage of that. We'll look at it right now. Boom. Funny Car versus Top Fuel. It happened again. It happened in testing, courtesy of Tony Stewart Racing Nitro. And that was cool to see those two team cars line up and go down the strip there, Slamming Sam. And later on that night, I talked with Brian Loans, and I went up to him and said, "Hey, man, look, we said, hey," I said, "Look, NASCAR did the Clash. What do you think we could do in drag racing? And he said, we just saw it. It's Top Fuel versus Funny Car. And I completely agree. It is that we need it again. Does it need to be every year? No. But we need to have it like every 5 years. It needs to happen again out there in NHRA drag racing as a special event. Line them up and race them. Sam, Brian also allowed me to get a glimpse of something.
Uh-oh. What?
He showed me actual...
Did he show you where to go to find Forrest Gump and post that picture that said, I think I'm just going to go home here. I think I'm just going to go home now.
No. I can find that on my own. No. He showed me actual game footage of the NHRA game that will be coming out. Dude.
So that, see, now you're putting pieces to the puzzle. No, you're putting pieces to the puzzle for me here.
It's sick.
No. Because he was doing a bunch of voiceovers for some stuff last week. So that's what he was doing. But, and then rewind to Vegas, the second Vegas of the year. At the end of the year, they had little microphones in a couple of guys' pits that picked up the audio the whole time. So in one of the pits, I know there's a couple of guys that like to swear quite a bit. So hopefully they can edit those ones out. But, just the sounds of like the engine, starting the engine, and the sounds of, during the breakdown and put back together, like the sounds of the tools and everything like that. So that puts things together. All right.
Dude,
but you think it's rendering, sick? Is it
what?
Go ahead.
What he showed, I won't describe it in detail, except that the groove was detailed. Like you could see the different coloration of the groove from the center out to the wall and the center stripes. That's how detailed the track was. We are going to have one heck of a game when it does finally come out.
So is it 5K, 4K? What resolution is it in?
Oh, it's going to be it's going to be top. Whatever top is when it rolls out, because it's going to be on top platforms. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good, man. It was sick looking. I can't wait.
So are you saying I'm going to be a gamer?
I'm going to become the top streamer of this NHRA game. Yes, that's going to happen. It is going to be wild, man. I'm looking forward to it. It looked so good.
It's because you have a red beard. That's why he showed you. I knew it.
That's right.
I knew it.
Sam, with all that said about testing, about, again, getting a glimpse of the game, you mentioned Travis Shoemaker making some laps in a field dragster. All of this is leading up to a 2022 season that it's going to be stellar. It is going to be awesome. And I cannot wait for it to be done. And I don't mean as in I'm already bored with it. Like, I want to know what happens and go through the whole roller coaster ride and be at the end and be like, wow, those people are the champions. And there are so many people in play.
Hey, this is how bad it is right now. Should I answer this? It's Antron. Do I answer this, or do I tell him I'm busy?
I don't know. Answer it. Go ahead.
Let's see what he has to say.
All right.
AB.
What you doing, baby brother?
I'm on the Power Hour, man. You're interrupting the show right now. Say hi to everybody, though.
What's up?
Lee can hear.
Hour is in the hour.
Lee can hear you.
Get it home.
So that
who you on with tonight? Who's on tonight?
We got Josh Hart and Tony.
Oh man.
Yeah. Why aren't you watching?
Brother, I am working. I'm receiving shop right now, man, and I'm heading home to pack my bag to come home tomorrow. I'm leaving the shop at 9:15 at night. I'm burning at midnight oil, brother.
All right. Well, we'll give you everyone on the show saying I had to answer the call, so I might as well answer it and put you on. But all right, got a question. So here, got a question for you before we let you go. You got the chance to be at testing. You were testing. What did you think of the atmosphere down in Phoenix, and what did you think of what we have to come in the 2022 race season?
It's going to be very, very exciting. A lot of competitive teams. Like, everybody was throwing out high 60s like they were going out of style in low 70s. So when I see that and all the caliber of teams that we have, it's like a hand toss right now. I think it's going to be one of the most competitive seasons you have ever seen in NHRA drag racing, because anybody can win. Anybody. I mean, from funny cars to Top Fuel, it is going to be a throwdown fest. I know Top Fuel for sure is going to be deadly, because we just got so many new cars that are coming out, and all of them competitive. Like Austin Fox being back out there, the Sarge, Tony's out there. Their team's looking good. Josh Hart. I mean, Justin Ashley. There's so many teams. Steve-O, Brittany. Every team you name is a team that can win a race right now. And that's what makes it this next upcoming year coming out.
All right. There you guys go. You heard it from AB himself. I will call me tomorrow, brother. We'll talk.
All right. Sounds like a plan, my man.
All right.
All right, brother.
Look at this. No respect for the show here, guys. No respect.
I know. Hey, good to hear from AB though. And again, it has to be repeated. The tone, the aura is of anticipation for one of the greatest years NHRA has ever experienced. And I think we're going to see it. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Look, let me also say this. I know everybody was waiting for the announcement of Alan Johnson going to Coletta Motorsports. Well, it happened. And they had a great test session, but do not overlook what Rob Flynn did early out of the gate with that Scrappers Mike Salinas car. They ran extremely well in testing also. It is going to be, it's going to be a great, great season all of the way around. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait for Pomona. Can't wait for it.
I can wait.
Yeah, you're not going to be there, right?
Yep.
That's
as
right.
of now.
I'm sorry.
Who knows? Hey, I still got a ticket. I still have a plane ticket to leave from Phoenix next month. So who knows?
There you go. Hey,
see, people don't understand that, Lee.
What's that?
People don't understand. They think, this media stuff, that we don't make mistakes and we have to do stuff. For everyone that doesn't know what Lee and I are laughing about, I booked a ticket and I tried to check in on the 12th. And yeah, it was for March 12th, not February. So be careful if you're booking tickets.
Be careful if you're booking. I've done it with a rental car. It's tough. But Drag Racing Central, he says, let me find it. Where did he say it? He mentioned about Top Fuel versus Funny Car here and said that basically Top Fuel would win every time. The first one, John Force. Yeah. And we need a third one because it's John Force won, then Corey McClenathan won. We need a tiebreaker. We need a tiebreaker on those Top Fuel versus Funny Car for sure.
I think, what I honestly think? I think to wrap up the 4 wides, you know what I mean? Like, you can either opt out or opt in to do it, but I think you have like a little race off. I mean, because you got to think, how quick does the race get over with the 4 wides? Like when you and I were there in Vegas, I mean, we pretty much had the whole rest of the day to do whatever we wanted because, I mean, it gets done so quick. So why not, have a race off? Put a pro stock car up there, put a Top Fuel, put a Funny Car. I mean, obviously you can't, the bike, you would have to give them a handicap to be able to do that. But I think that's when you put in one of those professional modifieds and you let them things go door to door and just have a little fun.
Right. Definitely. You let them have a little bit of fun. So who stood out for you in testing, Sam? What did you notice? What is what you marked down as, hey, this is notable that happened in testing?
Buddy Hall. I mean, they didn't go out there and run the fastest. They didn't go out and blow the doors off of anything. But to come off, and I can't remember the exact. I think it was a 3. I want to say it was a. I don't even want to give the number because I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was an A to B pass. It was consistent, and it's one of those things when I talked to him about what they were doing and what they thought. He said, "Man, we can go A to B." And he says, as long as we can line up next to whoever we line up next to and run a consistent A to B pass and not shake the tires or not go, side left to right, or, do something crazy at the starting line. He says, if we run consistent, we're not going to be the fastest, but we're not going to be the slowest. So that's all that matters. So for him, I mean, just getting into that seat, doing what he did, I think that stood out to me the most. In Top Fuel, Sam,
on that, you cannot overlook Buddy Hull on Elimination Sunday if he does, and I do expect him to qualify. That is a Tim Wilkerson tuned car, and it is a car that has made the shows in the past. So I would not be shocked that Buddy Hull breaks some hearts. And let me also take the time to mention Doug Foley, brand new car, Aaron Brooks tuning the car, and they methodically made 3 laps, and each lap got quicker and faster. There was even a 390, and the belt came off well before the finish line. So Doug Foley is another one to watch out. Just like AB said over there, he kept naming names. He could have kept on naming names. I mean,
he would still be on the phone.
He would still be on the phone
right now.
He would still be on the phone if he kept naming names. It's going to be a highly competitive year. And like Josh Hart and Tony Schumacher and the whole rest of the game, by the way, we got Josh Hart in the green room. They need to get a deal with Tums or Alka-Seltzer or somebody because there's going to be a lot of heartburn this year.
No, it's going to be anti-poop pills.
Yeah, right.
Because everyone's going to be nervous come Sunday morning. Everybody's going to be like, man, I didn't eat last night. I didn't sleep. I've had 3 sips of water, and that's it. So I'm just saying, if in the Top Fuel class this year, it's what we should have said about Funny Car last year. Make sure that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're eating good meals, a lot of oatmeal for breakfast. You need a potato for lunch. I need you to eat pasta all week because come Sunday, I feel bad for you. I mean, I honestly do. I really feel bad for you because, man, that's going to be difficult. When it comes down to my other, top moments, I think it comes without notice. Camry Caruso has put laps in on that car. I was talking with them a little bit when I was there, and they said she had more seat time testing that car than she did racing kind of the last 2 years, actual, lap per lap. She had more time in testing her pro stock car than she did with the PDRA running in the classes she ran in. So, I mean, that it shows, of course she's young. She's got, it's a new team. They've got some, spider webs to go through and some moments to figure things out, but I'm excited about it. And I think what it's going to do is she's going to bring a different dynamic to pro stock. And I think it's going to actually open the doors for younger women to want to get in the class too. I mean, she said in that example.
Well, concerning
Funny car
that was there and is not normally there. It's not normal for them to be there at Phoenix during the time the Nitro cars are running. I would say Roger Brogdon, he tested one day, Sam, made a ton of laps, and they put the car in the trailer. Roger Brogdon is an experienced drag racer from pro stock into the sportsman ranks, does a lot for the sport of drag racing. We had him on the show and talked to him. But, yeah, they put it up, and they were done. And I think that says something from that crowd and from him and the crew that, yep, we're good. We're good for Pomona. Let's pack it up and just go on.
Yeah, right here, Bobby Bennett, the boss man, is on the Competition Plus TV YouTube channel. He says Justin Ashley continuously had the quickest 60-foot runs. I posted a picture on Outlaw Performance ENT. Maybe I can get it up here. I think it's because he had the tape measure out all weekend, and all the guys in his pits thought it was pretty hilarious that Justin was actually using a tool, even though a tape measure is not really a hardcore tool. But I mean, you that's one of those things with Justin. Those 60-foot times, the starting line, you cannot sleep on him. That's what I'm saying. So these guys and these girls in Top Fuel, like, you better get some sleep early in the week, because you're not sleeping Saturday night, like, unless you're taking a whole bunch of melatonin. But I would hate to do that. I don't know, man. I honestly think we're gonna see a replay in Funny Car of what we did last year.
Yes.
I think we're going to see a replay there, and then I think we're going to have a very, very, very competitive Top Fuel class. That, I mean, our guest that's coming on right now, he can talk a lot about this. And I can tell you, rolling down the highway, Lee, rolling down the highway, and if you know me, I'm always jamming out rolling down the highway. But saw one of those sweet trucks rolling down, and I was like, man, that thing looks good. Closer I got to it, guess who it was? R&L Carriers, baby. So with that being said, we're gonna break, and we will bring on a man that's gonna have a tough year in Top Fuel, Josh Hart.
And this is all brought to you by Weldon Pumps, ladies and gentlemen. They are empowering all of Competition Plus. And if you need, anything to get your pump on in life and in motorsports, even your airplane, you can check it out. Weldon Pumps has got it. Let's break to commercial now. The Heartman on Competition Plus Power Hour. Josh, how you doing?
I'm great, guys. How are you?
Man, doing great. Hey, talking drag racing, I'm in Twin Falls, Idaho. Been enjoying a Western road trip. Can't get no better, man. And drag racing speckled all throughout.
Not me. I'm freezing again. I was finally thawed out, and then I came back to the frozen tundra. What was I thinking?
Sammy?
Back in North Dakota, man.
Whoa.
I would say what I call it, but might get demonetized for calling this place that.
Josh,
all right.
Even Florida's cold, so don't feel bad.
Florida's cold. Oh, yeah, that's that's it's all. I think the term is relative. Of what cold is to individuals. So Josh,
I don't ever say that Florida's cold.
Right. Josh, day number 1 didn't even run. If I remember, day number 3, y'all didn't even run. Day number 2, got 4 or 5 laps in, I believe. So y'all pulled it out of the trailer, did what you needed to do, put it back on the trailer. Are y'all that ready to go?
We are so ready to go, I can hardly contain myself. We got our brand new car out, a lot of new parts. Very blessed to open up those cabinets and see all those parts. So we did make 3 runs on the second test day, and then we made 1 on the third test day. And I was very pleased with everything.
Yeah, man, the car looks good. Last year it looked good, but the black and with the white and kind of bold juxtaposition with R&L on it, and then no more white fire suit. You can keep it longer.
I think we dry cleaned that fire suit at least twice before every race, and it still got dirty after the first pass. So yeah, we'll have a nice black and green fire suit, hopefully by Pomona. At the latest, it'll be for Phoenix.
seemed like everyone kind of changed their fire suit game. Like it seemed, honestly, if you really look at it, last year was a very light colored year for everyone. Justin had a white and blue suit. You had a white suit, which I don't understand it. But now it seems like everyone this year, I don't know if it's the trend. Everyone follows the champ, and if the champ's got a dark suit, the last year everyone kind of goes. That happens a lot in the circle track world. But so, like I said, before we got on the show, or before you came on, was rolling down the road and an R&L carrier truck looking very nice. I mean, I saw it, from the distance early in the morning. The chicken lights, as I call them, the little orange spotted lights, really looking nice. What all do they do for you, and how do you help them benefit with the deal you guys have?
So R&L is awesome about taking care of their people internally. This isn't like a multi-million-dollar, let me put my name on the side of your car type of deal. It is, let's see how many people we can actually recruit over this year, and if it works out, we'll continue. So they're all about adding talent to their ever-growing workforce, and they are 17,000 employees strong.
$17,000 employees. Wow.
Yes, sir.
And I love how, in interviewing you at other times, that they're excited over the drag racing program, as you mentioned, beyond just a sticker on a car, but you're active in recruiting, you're active in their team morale, if you will. So, winning on Sunday may not sell on Monday in the case of a top field dragster, but with you in particular, winning on Sunday might make for a more productive Monday with R&L carriers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We won in Charlotte, and we carried that trophy to St. Louis. That was the next meet and greet on our tour. And we never even pulled the car out of the trailer because it was raining. So I think we had probably 600 or 700 people that took pictures with the trophy, not the car. And the team was excited. They were a pleasure to work with all day. I served them food, just to show our appreciation. It's just a great foundation and a great group of people.
So when you talk about that, I mean, a lot of people, they look at the car, but there's something about that trophy, and there's something about, people gravitating towards what it is and what you guys have got going on. What would it mean for you this year, especially in the class that, you're running? Top Fuel is going to be a heavy hitting class. Like you said, Lee and I predicted to be what Funny Car was last year, how, competitive it was. What would it mean for Josh Hart and R&L carriers to come away with a couple of Wallies this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the goal. But when you look at the names on the roster, a lot of these people are people that I either drove with in the alcohol ranks or watched for years looking up to them. You hear Tony Schumacher coming back, that's not a joke. It speaks for itself. Brittany Force, she's awesome. Crazy speeds, crazy mile per hour every time. Doug Foley, I raced him in the alcohol class. He's one of the best drivers I've ever seen. I've told him that, I've seen him do things in a race car that I don't think should have been done. So it's going to be tough, but we're ready.
What has the conversation been like between you and your crew chief looking at this year with so much anticipation? Is it, hey, Josh, we need you to give us a little bit more at the tree? Hey, crew chief, I need you to give me a little bit more on the top end. Like, is it, hey, we do just like we did last year and we're going to be all right? Or is it go deeper and dig deeper for this year?
Yeah, it's always going to be dig deeper for us. And that's on all fronts. I have to do my job. Ron has to do his job. But, we didn't have the inventory that we have now. And when I say inventory, I mean parts. So we never intended to run a full season last year. It ended up adding 3 or 4 races, I think, just to have some fun. And this year we knew coming into it, it was 22 races. So we dug deep in all aspects and we're ready to rock.
All right. So from what you saw at testing, what moment stood out to you, or what pass or what team really stood out to you?
That's tough. I mean, everybody is rocking. You know what I mean? Antron Brown shows up with all brand new everything. I mean, he's baller status, you know, and he's not. It's not just for show, you know. It's not all bark. He's definitely got some bite. Justin Ashley, you know, he's always consistent. So I can't say there was one person that really deserved a star. I think everybody did, to be honest. And I'm not saying that just to be polite. I think everybody is ready to really go for the throat of whoever's on the in the other lane.
With what potentially will be one of the wildest seasons that Top Fuel may ever see in, or has seen in, NHRA competition, Josh, you already pre-gaming at all mentally to keep yourself in the game behind that wheel so you can carry out a 22 race season in tough competition?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I run my business the same way. You know, there's a lot of things that I do to increase my bandwidth, I guess you would say. You know, a lot of BS that you just got to kind of ignore and keep your head down, stay out of the politics and do your job, you know. So I tell a lot of my employees that, you know, when I'm home, I only think about Bernie's, and when I'm racing, I only think about racing. So that's my goal, is just to focus and do my job.
It's going to be a tough one. Like I said, if I guess I want to ask this question for you. If it wasn't Top Fuel this year for you, what would Josh Hart be driving?
Yeah, I bought a factory showdown car, and I was super stoked about it. I don't know how much everybody knows about Bernie's Speed Shop, but you know, we buy, sell, trade, consign, and build anything automotive. And I got the car. I started talking to Don Schumacher, believe it or not, and I learned a lot in a couple of conversations about what was required to take a factory showdown car and literally tear it apart, throw components away, and get it ready for race day. And I just can't pull the trigger yet. It's a beautiful car. I'm a collector. So you almost want to start with like a roller and build the car that you would actually compete with. But that class has always interested me. I watched Leah Pruitt, you know, kick butt and take names, and I just think it's super fun. You know, I think that would be a great class.
Any more information on factory experimental?
I love the concept, and I'm definitely interested. But I think you know, I'm going to have my hands full this year. I've never done 22 races. You know, when we first started in alcohol, I think I did 18 races, and I drove my own truck, and I set up the car, and I set up the awning, and then it was on to the next one. I think I was on the road for 21 weeks or something like that. It's amazing that my wife still liked me. But this is going to be interesting. You know, I do have the ability to fly in and fly out, but 22 races is a tall order.
So for the people that don't understand that, when you say you drove your own truck, you set up the awning yourself, a lot of people have, you know, crewmen to do that, or someone that just does their hospitality, you know, and just sets everything up and, you know, has the opportunity like you do now to fly in and fly out. What is that physical task like, you know, on the road for these crews and on, you know, on the go all the time for them? What is that task like?
Oh, it's gut wrenching. You know, I commend the crew so much, because without those guys, it's impossible. I think that everybody that shows up to these races deserves an award. I mean, it's 10 grand to get to Pomona from my spot. It's unbelievable. And until you've done it, you can't put it into perspective. Everybody thinks that it's, lifestyles of the rich and the famous on the NHRA tour. And, after you've seen one laundromat and Ubered about 10 million times, flown about 144 times in one season, and put it, 40,000 miles on any vehicle in 1 year, then I guess you can talk about it a little bit. But it's not all roses, that's for sure.
It's not. When you got to do your laundry in a strange laundromat, it's for real. It's for real, and you're like, man, I got, qualifying's about to start, and I got, and I don't got clean drawers. What's happening? I got to get this done. Yeah, for sure. So Josh, the car looks great. I'm curious, will RL Carriers or any of the other branding partners possibly later on in the year allow for some special schemes, maybe some historical momentous ones or seasonal ones? Any talk in the graphics department of some special schemes this year?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We always do something special, for Breaks for Breast. But yeah, we've got a couple of tricks up our sleeve towards the middle to end of the season.
Very good. Well, I'll tell you, whoever did the work on the car, and then especially your haulers, the tech trailer, the main hauler, man, those trailers are sick, dude, with the faded in silhouette of the car and everything. Primo, man. Primo. Looks good. Looks good.
I appreciate that, Lee. I appreciate it very much.
Lee, man, that's what it takes. When you pull up to the race, you gotta, like the old saying, you look good, feel good, play good. That's what's going on in racing right now. Everyone's, and I hate to say this, and don't take it wrong, everyone's trying to keep up with AB. AB's coming out there with new golf carts. They got, well, what else was it? Not just the little scooters now. They got Ruckus or whatever those things are called, the little Honda. Like, I mean, it's like, man.
Yeah, it couldn't happen to a better person, though. I mean, seriously, he is always in a good mood. He's got great energy. I love just being around him, so good for him. I mean, that stuff is making its own statement for sure.
Sure is. And I mean,
Josh,
hard, like you say,
obviously,
hard.
Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say hard work pays off, and it shows, with what you're doing. It shows with what Awesome Proc's doing. It's showing with, Justin Ashley and everybody. I mean, everybody, like, across the board. And that's why I think Top Fuel is taking that next step right now, is because everyone has put in that work. Everyone's putting in that time. I mean, look at perfect example of all of this is look at Awesome Proc's, example. Has a ride, COVID hits, doesn't have a ride, but still puts in that work to, achieve what he's doing. And it just shows, like, Top Fuel, you guys have battled the punches. You guys have, endured the hell of a rain/windstorm that's been coming you guys' way the last couple of years with, with cars and different ideas. And I think, it's now or never. Like, I think you guys are like, you know what, we need to put on the show. And I think you guys have all collectively as a group maybe have sat down at PRI or somewhere and we're like, hey, this is our year. Like, we're not going to tell anyone. We're going to make it a funny season, but 2022 is our year. And you guys all walked out of there, like, with the same hat on, and everyone is just driving that nail in already. And we're days away from Pomona, but already everyone can see that Top Fuel is, saying, hey, we are the show this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of people that I look forward to making a splash that you wouldn't think about. You got Mike Bucher. I heard rumors that he's working on a deal. I like him. He's a great guy. I like Buddy Hall. I think he's a cool guy. He brings an interesting energy also to the table. I've talked to him a couple of times, and he was in the finals last year. So you just can't take your opponent lightly in any aspect, and you're going to see that attitude carry through all season.
For sure. Lee, I want to
Definitely,
jump
man.
to
We
here.
cannot wait.
Josh, we got a question here
Where you
from
jumping,
Joe. I just want to ask this question because it is a good question. Did the price on Nitro increase much? That's actually a good question. I mean, because I know race fuel and
actually,
race fuel has gone crazy.
It's kind of leveled out a little bit, so it's stomachable.
But Josh, remember, due to inflation, you are paying more.
True story.
Well, we got another
like
question for you. Kroger sucks 45. Kroger, you got to tell us the story. You can't hold out on us anymore. You got to put it in the comment section why that name, please. Does Josh have the same crew as last year? So what are the personnel similarities or differences for 2022 compared to 2021?
So that is one thing that I really pride myself in. We don't talk about it much, but I will bend and bend and bend to keep the team happy. I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it again. They are the magicians behind the curtain. I'm the idiot that hits the gas. We made Ron Douglas my partner in this, and with his connections and the loyalty of what I consider to be his guys before I came along, we were able to keep all of the same players, and I hope to do so for the entirety of my career. I know that sounds crazy given silly season and everything, but there's no limits for me. I enjoy it. It gives me confidence when I get in the car, and I absolutely want to do whatever it takes to build a long-term career with the same team.
I like it. I like it. With Gainesville coming up, do you have any – that's basically your hometown race on the NHRA schedule. Any big events, any big plans that we can expect going to Gainesville? Anniversary of the first win also.
Yeah. We're trying out hospitality in Pomona. We're going to offer hospitality in Arizona, and we're going to do something pretty good for Gainesville. We already did the VIP giveaway, and I think there'll be more of that stuff to come. So I'm learning a lot, and I'm excited to be back in Gainesville. I've had the first in many ways there, and it's pretty storybook for me. Every time I go there, you think about Don Garlitz being there right beside me when I got my alcohol license, and Don Garlitz was there with me when I won my first Gator Nationals in Top Fuel car. And Bernie's was on the car, and there's just so many things I could go on. And so that place to me, kind of gives you butterflies just when you show up. It was the first place I ever made a pass. So very, very blessed to be able to go back there and try to defend that title for sure.
No, that's awesome. And especially speaking of, your first win, I wasn't going to bring that up, especially talking about Gainesville. That's kind of like talking about a shutout in hockey, or a no-hitter in baseball. It's some of those things that you just don't talk about, Lee. You don't bring it up till after the 1 year, You cursed them now.
Look, this man is one cool cucumber. He can handle it, okay? He can go out there and do it again. I fully expect it.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what happens to me on a daily basis. I mean that would explain the cool as a cucumber. I know it makes for a boring interview, but the things that people tell me on the phone, I used to think were crazy, and now it's just part of my daily life. So, we had a drunk driver drive through my service department last week, and then when I say through my service department, if you know anything about Bernie's, he took out $1 million worth of cars before he hit the building. So
how? Hold on. No. Where's the footage of this? How do
There's got to be security footage. There's got to be.
I will send you whatever you like. But that's why I don't get excited. I mean, when my team calls me and they say, "Hey, boss, we've got a car in the showroom," I said, "Well, yeah, you have 50 cars in process." He says, "No, we had a drunk driver flip somebody over at the gas station, try to get away, and then literally drove the car through the service department.
But how did the other cars not slow him down? How did he continue? That must have been a tank.
Yeah,
What kind of car was that? I need
the power of drunks. It is amazing.
Yep.
It is amazing.
Chrysler 200G. He was not injured. He was belligerent, and he looked like a very upstanding elderly gentleman, and he was not. So.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'll send
I
you
would.
I'll send you the footage. You just text me and I'll send it to you. It's unbelievable. He
Yep.
took out a 54 Buick Roadmaster convertible. It was worth $250,000, and it was 2 weeks away from being delivered to somebody in Ohio. It was a 2-year restoration. 69 Corvette, 65 Chevelle, 67 Chevelle convertible. So yeah, that's why I am what I am.
How do you make that phone call? Hey, it's gonna be another 2 years and 2 weeks before your car is done.
I mean,
yeah,
it's just as bad as like the dog ate my homework. I mean,
to be completely transparent,
thing.
I mean, I FaceTimed with every single client. I was awake for 41 hours straight, no sleep. You know, we had so much glass projectile that it ruined 7 paint jobs because there was glass shards stuck in the brand new paint.
Yeah, about that.
So I don't get excited too much because I hear a lot of stuff.
Right.
I think you need to build a wall around like the shop and then build another wall around the outside, the perimeter, and then another wall outside of that.
Right.
I've had I've had an employee take out a brand new 1,000 horsepower Mustang that we built. The throttle stuck wide open. He lost control, went through a porta pot, and my first question was there anybody in the porta pot? So I mean, I can tell you stories for hours if you really want to talk to me.
Oh man. We're gonna have like an uncensored Josh Hart. What really happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
What really happened?
Why he acts the way he acts? That's fine.
He acts the way he acts for sure. Because we see now in the car, it's like, this is my happy place.
Yeah, you know that Dominic Toretto, Fast and Furious 1.
Yes.
For that 10 seconds or less, I'm free.
Right.
So true.
So true.
So true.
Okay. All right.
See,
well, man, look. Go ahead, Sam.
I love that quote so much. I've thought about getting it tattooed on my leg, but I can't do it because a 10-second car, like, that's slow.
Yes, it is.
Back in when that movie came out, it was like, dude, 10 seconds or less, all right, no problem. You know, everyone wanted a 16-speed Eclipse back then that the floorboards were going to come out of. I mean, I've never seen someone shift as many times as Paul Walker did. But now, if you said you had a 10-second, car, it's like, dude, my rental car is faster than that. So.
Yeah. But like I said, anytime you want to see the footage, text me. I'll send it to you. It'll take your breath away. And if you actually if you actually pay attention to what's sitting in there, that's my life.
Man.
Everybody asks me, like, what's your favorite car? And I say, well, I look at them differently. I look at, a 71 Hemi Cuda with a Hellcat swap in it, and I think about all the hours of my life that I put into that car and all the nightmares and all the sleep that I lost to make sure that it got delivered on time. So yeah, I love all cars, but I look at them much differently than most people.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, Josh, look, it's been great having you on, talking about being free. We're going to cut you free and let you go from the Power Hour. We got Tony Schumacher in the green room. We're going to bring him on after this next break. Josh, hope you have a great 2022 and that it involves a whole lot less drunks.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you guys every time.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Bye-bye.
Wow. That's heavy, Sam. That's heavy.
Dude, that's like, I don't want to say that sucks, but that sucks. Like,
yes.
Major.
Yes.
Like, there's no way I wouldn't be able to talk about it and be that calm. There's no way.
Nope. No wonder he likes to go fast in a Top Fuel dragster. It's easier.
Dude, like, I would be sitting somewhere in that shop in the corner behind someone's toolbox, like a kid in a locker room back in the late 90s. Just leave me alone and just keep going, please.
Yeah, in the fetal position, sobbing. Yes, it's over. It's done with. Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. We're going to bring on Tony Schumacher. And if you need, in fact, LED replacements for your hot rod, Holly has got them so that hopefully it's bright enough that you see the showroom before you go through it.
Classic car owners, make your headlights over twice as bright with Holley Retro Bright LED headlights. A plug-in replacement for those dim halogen seal beams, Retro Bright maintains that classic look and lasts 6 times longer. Stay safe and click the link below to learn more.
Tony Schumacher, welcome again to the Competition Plus Power Hour.
It's good to be here, man. I can't get over that story.
Wow.
I was stout.
Wow. Man, you got anything that compares? You got anything you can drop on us?
Well, no, I just wish I was there, man, to watch that dude hit that stuff and get out. Kind of like Tommy Boy when you back up and knock the door off. What do you do? That was a rough one, man. That's a lot of nice cars. Now the glass shards. Josh should have got out and said, "I have a new paint job. It includes glass shards. Come up with something new. Use it to your advantage." I get it.
There you go.
14 years of college. Got to keep thinking.
I'm still mind blown over that, but the fact that you took that negative and kind of was like, just add that into the paint job. It's patina.
I've been doing it my whole life, man. Spin it.
Yeah.
Patina, exactly.
Yeah, patina. This is the all new rage. It's glass flake in your paint. Yes. So Tony, we need to get this out of the way. We need to get this out of the way. What the heck are we going to call you this year? Has it been voted on? It is
Sarge, man. You
okay, cool.
can't.
Great.
Okay, so I drove the Army car for 19 years. I didn't call me the Sarge. It's what we did was at the beginning when they said we're going to do a car, and it's to recruit the Sarge. It's to recruit the enlisted man that works his way up to the Sarge. Sergeant Major of the Army is the highest enlisted soldier. That's what it was. And people just, I guess naturally, they just said, you're the Sarge. And over time, it's not something you could change. 19 years is a long time. Snake's a snake. He can go off and, want to be the mongoose, but you can't do it. You're the snake. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you are. And we listened to all the things and we went, there's just no way. No matter what, people see me in the airport and the mall and they see me in the grocery store and they're like, Sarge, so it's not something that's changeable. It's kind of a way of life you built through a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of Army bases, a lot of great moments with great soldiers. You built that name, so we'll just keep it that way. It's my handle.
I like.
So
it.
I gotta say,
I like it.
I gotta say this because I've never told anyone this. Back in my barracks at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, I had a football pitcher, had a couple other things in my barracks, but the one thing that I had, because I'm a drag racing fan, was a picture of your dragster sitting in my bed. And people were like, "Man, you like drag racing?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, I see why you picked him because he's got the Army card." I was in the Army, and I'm like, "Man, you guys have never even I had met you a couple of times by then," and I was like, "Yeah." And then now that you're saying that the Sarge is back,
yeah. I had a guy,
one of those moments.
a group, absolutely understand. I had a group text me, message me on Facebook and say, "Hey, we're in Alaska, all Army guys, and thank you. You're the reason we enlisted." So it was a long time coming. We spent 19 years recruiting. We recruited probably half of the military. So I'm proud that I represented the greatest group of men and women in the world.
Well, Tony, for the record, I was proposing Captain Grass out there. I thought that would have fit pretty well with the SCAG equipment. And look, talking about recruiting, what is it going to look like for SCAG equipment? How's that all going to work? I mean, I'm sure it's going to be different from what you were doing with and for the Army, but marketing partners, they've got to get that ROI out of any deal. So is it taking the car to local dealers? Is it you going to local dealers? Is it I don't know, are we going to drag race some equipment, at a national event eventually? What are we going to do?
Well, I think a little of everything, but we're starting with the Maynard family car this week. So, I want to make sure we got 8 races, actually turned into 11 races with Skag, but a lot of great partners on the car. But yeah, we'll do some with 1,300 mom and pop shops across the country with Skag. And we'll hit those places. We'll help them sell. We'll help them build their brand name. Their brand name is #1 in commercial mowers, but we want to get that to the home user. So we're working on that. And, this week is going to be an amazing car. I don't know. You guys probably have met Joe and Kathy Maynard. They're excited. They were both veterans. Could have been in the barracks with you. It's just those are guys that love racing. I'm so happy that they were the first ones to step up and bring us back, give us an opportunity to go out, and then find the rest of the season. But this is gonna be a fun year, man. You started talking to Josh earlier. You've had a lot of great people on, and this is going to be an epic year, incredibly difficult. And whoever stands at the podium at the end of there with that trophy, they're going to have earned it, man. It's going to be a very difficult year. You got Coletta with Alan Johnson. Seriously, these are going to be tough races to win. No question.
Yeah, and you speak on that. I guess for me, I have a double-sided question for you. For one, your recruiting standpoint before was to go out and reach the people, but now social media has taken over so much. So the game is kind of totally different for you. How do you look at social media to help your partners, I guess, is my first question.
Well, I think it's a growing revenue for them. Matter of fact, so much, talk to an Antron Brown and he'll say, when I sit down with the Toyota people, they want to know what are our numbers. With the Army, it wasn't so much like that. It was, we need to put people in boots. What are the numbers of recruits we got? How do we convert them? Have we taken the lead cards we generated at a racetrack and have we converted that stuff? Some of the things we're going to do now is going to be different. Skag, they've sold every lawnmower they can make this year, and they'd like to have 25 or 50% more. So, it's one of those things where we're trying to build brand awareness. The Army had brand awareness. People know what the Army is. For Skag Power Equipment, it's different. We're trying to do that. Joe and Kathy Maynard, on the other hand, they're just happy to be out there on a race car. I mean, they're loving being there. They were on Leah's car last year. They're excited. Okuma, the third one, they're a business partner of ours. We have 30 Okuma pieces of equipment in our shop that DSM uses to build all of our parts and pieces. Not only that, but several military contracts, and we do stuff for all different companies around the world.
Well, Tony, I definitely think you can go ahead and report to Skag, just like Bart has chimed in. I didn't know what Skag was till I saw it on your car. And look, I'm the same way. I was a maintenance guy at one time, cutting the lawn and tearing down pneumatic pumps and rebuilding them, and I had never heard of Skag equipment. So it's already working. You can report that to them and get at least 3 more years out of them, I hope.
I hope so too. I think they know that. They've had a lot of people call and say, don't care. I'm a fan of Schumacher, fan of NHRA, whether they like me or they like Coletta or they like Antron Brown. They want to support the sport. They've all said, we were out looking for a mower. We're going to go with the Skag. And I think, all our sport is very loyal people. Our sport also not only is loyal, but it's hands-on people. That's what the Army loved about it, is it's the guy that's going to get his hands dirty. They're going to go out, they're going to mow their lawn, they're going to go out and work on their own car. And it was the mechanics they needed. It was people working on helicopters, tanks, Humvees. It's the same thing with Skag. They said, we want to get to the person. We want the one-on-one that you're standing there talking to these people and you can get it across and we can build these people one at a time.
There's a lot of good things coming in here. Build a mower with a 36x17 rear with Tony's name on it. Sold out.
Yeah.
I mean, and it is true. Like, a lot of people didn't know who they were. And just because they're a fan, I mean, that's I think the loyalty of NHRA and drag racing fans combined is, as soon as you see someone that you like have that or use that, you're like, ooh, I got to have it. I mean, I think that's just something that's in our sport. And for you, another question, I guess, coming back in a year now where we have another Tony involved in the sport, and Tony Stewart, you sitting back and kind of watching all of this unfold, what do you think of this dynamic that he is bringing to the sport?
It's fantastic. You know, I got to work with him. You know, he owned Ryan Newman's car for the Army. We spent a lot of time together. He's a great guy. He will do nothing but increase our viewership. He loves the sport. You know, he's a driver's driver, man. He knows how to drive. He'll get in anything and drive it well. So he's worked his way up. You know, when he started, he said, "Look, I'm going to go out and I'd love to drive one of those cars, but I want to work my way up. What are the right steps?" He took the right steps. He went to Frank Hawley's school. He drove Super Comp, drove alcohol cars. He took small steps, and he understands that this car is extremely fast. And ultimately, he'll be a phenomenal driver. But he's taking the right channels, you know. And I think the people out there that, and I've met tons of them in my past that said, I have some money, I'd like to go top fuel racing. And I've stopped them and said, take $1 and put it in a jar, put another one in there tomorrow, and build your way up to build a super comp car before you end up getting hurt. Because these cars at 300, we were talking about speed, and, you know, Josh said a 10-second car. I hit the gas testing the first day on Thursday. A car went to the Christmas tree, was up on the wheelie bar, smoked the tires. I ran an 11-second quarter mile. I went 60 feet under power. Our cars are stupid, ludicrous speed. So take the right steps, enjoy the moment. You know, we've talked about this on the last show, the super comp racers, the super street racers, the junior dragster people. Enjoy the moment you're at and work your way slowly into a top fuel car. Get there. It's a great place to end up, but take your time getting there. So when you do it, you can do it right and do it effectively. The crew can tune it correctly, and you can win championships. Nobody wants to be out there just as a tag along. You know, take the right channels in any sport, study the script, understand how the car works, and play the game right.
This year, Tony, there's a lot of chatter concerning you and numbers, whether it's wins and passing certain individuals, whether it's championships and that giving you, you know, GOAT status. Do you look at numbers at all, or are you looking race by race, pass by pass? What's your mental makeup going into 2022?
I can't. I know who I beat at the last race. I can't tell you who I won, you know, the race. But I focus on what I'm doing. I have an incredible ADHD personality, which is awful on some things. But for a top fuel car, I'm uber focused. I get in the car, I understand the pressures of the brake, I understand the throttle, how hard you hit it. I'm focused on that stuff. The round wins I have, I looked at something the other day and it said, you know, Schumacher round wins. And I said, wow, that's a lot of round wins. And I can't tell you today what that number is. I can't tell you if it's 400 or 4,000. I don't remember. It's not important to me. You know, my goal is to show up at Pomona, run low AT each and every round, or if I can, it's to give my crew the best of my ability so they can tune and adapt. That's it. At the end of my career, I'll sit back and I'll look and go, good numbers, should have had some more here, lost a few there, you know, and as good as the numbers are, you can look and go, okay, you got 85 wins. I have hundreds of losses. So at the end of the day, you got to understand perspective, man. This is a difficult sport. It's going to be more difficult this year than we've seen in a long time. I mean, there's a lot of great cars out there. A lot of guys like Josh Hart coming out a couple of years ago, gone on doing a serious job winning races. There's a whole bunch of those guys this year. So got to stay focused. The numbers will put themselves in history books later in life.
Didn't want to leave myself on mute there. Lee, we got a question, and with the paint scheme that we've got going on your car, this kind of leads to this question here. I'd like to know who Tony was rooting for in the Super Bowl.
Bengals. I would look like my fire suit. That's the only reason. I mean, I don't care. I was born in Chicago, right? I live in Austin, Texas. Who won this year? I mean, I was two people from a whole different world. It didn't matter if it was LA or Bengals, you know. I mean, Cincinnati was great. to watch it. What I wanted while I was sitting in a hot tub, enjoying a great cigar, watching the game, what I wanted was that the game was as good as the last 8 that we watched leading up to the Super Bowl. And it delivered in every way. I'm not sure I believe in all the calls. There were a couple, that face mask call was missed. That pass interference at the end, I'm not sure that was quite enough to dictate a game. But the game itself, both teams have nothing. They left nothing on the table. They played their hearts out. And ultimately, who won, like what we want, the fans. The fans won. Even if you were a Bengals fan, you won money on the spread. That was good enough, right? They don't get the ring. The rings are pretty cool, but it was a great game, right? You didn't leave dissatisfied. You could leave angry your team didn't win, but you can't say, I paid money for that game and I didn't get the value of the ticket because it was an epic game.
I agree completely. Even if I'm rooting for a team, I don't want them to have a blowout win. I want a good game either way. Blowouts are not exciting whatsoever. So, right. Give me a good game. And I think that's why so many people are excited about 2022, Tony, like we've been talking about. I don't think we're going to have a blowout year by anybody. It is going to be a slugfest. And I think it's going to look a lot like Funny Car. It's going to be a highly competitive season. And there are some people out there with the talk that because Don Schumacher Racing has, I'll use their term, downsized, only going to field one car, that they might not be as effective. But I want to ask you, when you hear Don Schumacher Racing downsize, well, that's not actually accurate. Like there's 4 factory stock cars. There's your top fueler, and your dad in several interviews has said, hey, if someone brings the money, we'll put another car out there. So do you think that they're at Don Schumacher Racing that, it is full steam ahead and it's smooth sailing to come up and that you're as strong as y'all ever have been?
Well, it's hard to say if we're as strong as we've ever been because I've been out for a year and we're going to rebuild. The car ran excellent in testing. We never made a full pass, still ran 73. We never, Antron, myself, Leah, our cars were never identical. So what we would get out of a little help would be a car running in front of you. You could look at the track and maybe prepare a little bit. But we're going to be a good race car. There's some great teams out there that are 1 or 2 car teams. We're not in any way in trouble. I think what happened was teams left. They still are in our shop. Antron's in our shop. Caps is right next to me, based out of our shop, and will be attached in hospitality. The money just changed directions. And, instead of it going through my dad, paying a team, it goes to the team. They pay my dad. We're all going to be in a good spot. And I think it's what our sport needs. The fans were getting sick and tired of big teams. All you ever heard was, oh yeah, you guys win because of this. Well, that's nonsense. We won a championship in '99. We were a 1-car team. Torrance has done it with 2-car teams, really, and he's the only one that runs the full season. So we're going to go out there and give it 100%. Man, there's a whole lot of 1-car teams out there. Wilkie's been doing it. Tim Wilkerson's been doing it for a long time, and he's bad to the bone. You got all kinds of guys out there. Tasca that go out there on their own and just do their job. So stay focused, give the fans what they want, and go out and win a championship. Look, if we win this thing at the end of the year, it's because we put 110% in along with everybody else, and only one person gets a win. And it's one of my favorite things. For the Army for so many years, I said I'm sick and tired of everyone getting participation trophies. I don't care if there's one of me. When I win a race, Antron didn't get a bonus. When Antron won a race, I didn't get a bonus. So yes, my father owned a lot of teams, but as far as teammates, we were friends like we are with everybody. But we were still 1-car teams. Army wanted to win for Army. Madco wanted to win for Madco. And Mopar and Pennzoil wanted to win with Leah. So that's just how the game is played. We didn't, we didn't share the information probably like everybody thinks. If you're a team and you're out there, you all have the same sponsor. The cars all look the same. And you're winning it for that person. That's a different world. But we were all unique individual people. We made different decisions. Our motor locations were in different spots. Our driver compartments were different lengths. Everything was different. So I think it's going to be a little nicer for me, to be honest, to just stay focused on one team, not worry about all the other nonsense, and just go out and try to win every run.
Yeah, and that's the attitude you got to have. And a lot of people are saying, a lot of people think they know what's going on. We all want to be a fly in that, we all want to be that fly in the shop when these conversations are being had and what's going on. But, I look at it like this. Right now, DSR is going through their rebuild years. You know what I mean? Like, they're saying, "Oh, we're taking a step back," and other teams moved on, which isn't bad. I mean, I think that you guys set up, these other teams to be able to do that. You guys encourage that. Hey, we're building you to do that. But you guys, I think there's a way about what's going on. I don't really know the correct way to say it, but there's a way about what's going on that I think builds for the future, and it gives everybody kind of a time to take a step back and see. I mean, I think it was 2 years ago, earlier this year, maybe, who knows, but everyone was complaining about, oh, we have too many mega teams. There's just mega teams. Everyone's a mega team. So now that the mega teams are kind of starting to dwindle down and you're starting to see these other things, what are they going to complain about now? Yeah. Oh, this person's having too much success. Something. Yeah. And I mean, but Lee and I talk about this all the time. It's like, you want more racing. We give you more racing, and then you still complain, oh, I couldn't see it because it was raining outside that day. Like, somebody gives you something, just calm down, just take it. I mean, but that's the nature of the beast that we've created in this sport, that we, it's a showman sport, and a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, a lot of people type from their basement, We joke about that all the time. There's an awful lot of people much, much smarter than us because they've had excessive years in mom's basement to decide what we should do. And I pick on that stuff a lot because this is a hard sport. This is a very difficult thing. We are sweating and we are broken and we're beat up. And sometimes we get a little disrespected by people that probably, one of them old things I used to tell one of our old drivers, I won't mention his name. I always say, better shut up and have everyone think you're an idiot than open your mouth and prove them right. You know how it is. But we're going to have a great year, fans. Get to the racetrack. I think you're going to see the best racing out there you've ever seen.
Tony, Don Schumacher Racing for, by now, decades probably, has been one of the leading teams in creating a place where school programs and corporate programs can come and experience the drag strip, sometimes even early on a Friday with the technical institutes. I've seen that at many drag strips. Will Don Schumacher Racing still have that presence for the NHRA in 2022 and yourself?
Well, we're not part of the YES program, but I'd like to be again because we built that thing with NHRA. And I've told, Skag for sure, there's so much opportunity out there. You're literally bringing the youth out, the same people you want to teach to be the mechanics and teach to work and teach to build, whether it's the lawnmowers, or anything in the world. We want these kids out there because building our sport, we need to keep the kids off the phone. We talk about social media and how that's so effective now, but the concern there is the kids need to be at the racetrack and sometimes off the phone and off the computer. So that's what that program does. Get them out. Let them feel a top field car. Let them feel a pro stock car. Let them feel all the classes. Let them watch and learn that, wow, there's people my age, not my age, but their age doing this job, working their way up, and they help out and get them involved. So that's what we want. Those youth programs are so good with that.
Yeah, we got another question that comes in, and speaking of this, of how do you get there? How do you do this? Brandon asked this question here. He says, what does it take to go from a nobody like myself going to school, getting a license, to get on a pro NHRA team?
Well, that's a really good question. And I had a guy the other day come up and go, actually, he works on Caps's team. And he goes, I emailed you, I Facebook messaged you, and you said, go to Western Tech, pick one of those schools, get a CDL license, and come and apply. He's been with our car for 10 or 15 years now. And he said, thank you. When I left the Army, I wasn't exactly sure. And I said, here are the steps. That CDL, we had a meeting yesterday morning, and Todd Okahara said, if you can't drive the rig, you probably won't work on the team. We got a lot of rigs going down the road, a lot of moving parts and a lot of pieces. Stay clean, keep those driving records, not always spotless, but as good as you can do, and get that CDL. That CDL, we usually will supply you with that kind of stuff. We just want to make sure you have good, clean records. Learn how to work on stuff, and show me that A+. I did that military speech for a long, long time. When you come to me and say, I would like to work on your car, I want to say, show me your report card. And you go, well, hang on for a second. I know I got some C's in there. I'm going to say, well, why do you have C's? Well, I'm a straight A student, but I didn't find it that important. I have to then question it and say, well, I'm going to get in a race car that goes 330 miles an hour. And if you couldn't get a C on a test where the answers were in the book, the teachers read you the book, told you what day the test was on, how do I know that when I get in that race car that you're going to now pay attention? So focus on those things. Those tests aren't that hard. You're in school, you're around teachers willing to teach you. Get those grades. Everyone out there, I try to explain that to my friends, my family. When you show up with an A+ attitude, it's hard for me not to want to hire you.
Well, take that to your interview.
That's fact.
I like it. I like it. No, it definitely rolls over and correlates. It's what you see a person. It fascinates me that there's some people I played football with that did not practice well. And guess what? They're not practicing life well either right now. And it goes hand in hand for sure.
Well, man, I could look at you and, I always tell people you got 5 good friends, man. Close your eyes and picture those friends. You can picture the smartest friend right away. You know for a fact he's going to make it. And you can picture the idiot in the group almost immediately. If you close your eyes and picture your 5 buddies and you can't find the idiot, well, you're it, brother, because every group's got one. So pay attention. Choose wisely.
Yep. That's right. That's right. Sam, I wonder if I close my eyes where you will be. I wonder.
Frozen outside. That's where I'm going to be.
Frozen outside. Well,
I'm either Lee, in my luck, I'm either frozen outside or stuck in some airport as it's been going lately in the last 6 months.
Definitely. Well, Tony, look, I'm looking forward to seeing you at Pomona and looking forward to seeing you have a great 2022. Look up the old commercial with Don Garlitz on a lawnmower and a parachute. It's classic, Skag all the way. There you go. That's the prototype. But it has been great to have you on the show, man, and can't wait for you to burn some more nitro.
All right, we'll see you guys down in Pomona, just a couple days away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Take care.
I'll be tuning in virtually.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Schumacher here on the show. Great to have him once again. Thank you, Tony, for stopping by. And he is definitely going to be a part of that, Sam, of the slugfest that will be Top Fuel in 2022.
Dude, I hope everybody's been in the weight room or took some kickboxing or boxing classes, man, because I would honestly, like, let's just say the cards fell in the right hands and somehow Sam got a Top Fuel car. This would not be the year that I'm coming out and saying, hey, everybody,
nope.
I'm here to play. Like,
nope.
They're just, it's, I don't know, man.
Nope.
It's, I would, like I said, Lee, right now, if you said, Sam, you got to come out first round and you got to race anybody, I'm sitting in my locker, in my trailer, just here. Let me move my camera down so everybody can see. I'm sitting there like this. Well, I can't do it. I can't fit in the chair. But I'm sitting in the fetal position, shaking, with my thumb in my mouth saying, I ain't going out there.
Nope.
Friday night, oh yeah, I'm having fun. Saturday, having fun. Sunday, no. Mm-mm.
Sam, that's if you make the show.
Wow, Lee. Wow, thanks. I know.
Just saying.
I'm true statement though. Like,
and look, I think this year we're going to have big names not make the show. There's going to be heartbreak there. There's going to be heartbreak in round one. There's going to be escalation in the finals for a winner that we didn't expect. It is going to be a wild year, and I cannot wait for Pomona.
Lee, like that's the problem right there. When you look at it, when you look across the board and you look at everything, look at the entry list in some of these classes. Look at what's going to happen. You are damn near going to have, and I can say, hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying that word, but you are going to have pretty much full fields in every class, in every category, with the add-ons of these new drivers coming in and just everyone just showing up and wanting to race, everyone getting back into what I'm going to say is 2020 is going to be our full swing year. 2022 is going to be the full swing year where those people that were kind of running maybe a mediocre schedule because of COVID and different things like that, a lot of people and a lot of businesses are coming back full swing now. So you're seeing some more new sponsors, marketing partners come into play. You're seeing a lot of different things happen. And right now it's going to be scary. Like, you better bring your, you know what, every day. Like, you better show up and show out, because there's no, oh, well, I'll barely make it in. You know what I mean? Or if say a team is playing the game early in the season, exactly. You don't want to be the number 17 car. You just don't. Period.
Yeah, you don't. You just don't. And look, Pomona right now, full fields for every category, and Pro Stock still going strong. I mean, there's going to be a lot of broken hearts in Pro Stock every single race this year. And Funny Car, there are plenty of people going home in Funny Car. It is Bump Night is back, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be exciting for sure.
Hey, Justin's on there. Look at that picture. Lee, when you see a picture like that, Justin Ashley with a tape measure, is he thinking, well, if I put 5 stickers right here, I may gain another 5 horse, or will this help my 60-foot time? What when you see this, what is Justin Ashley doing?
When I see that, I think of Justin Ashley being concerned about giving the most for his marketing partners wherever and however they've stepped up to be partnered with the team. I think that's what he's doing. I think. I don't know.
Well, why didn't you comment that, Lee? Best comment wins. Come on.
Well, I'm hosting the show. I don't have to comment.
I'll just give me crap, man. God. Lee, we got to answer this question.
Yes,
Lee and Sam both predictions on rookie drivers.
Yep.
Rookie
Tony
driver.
Sherman, by the way, hope you're doing well, Tony. Hope you're doing well.
Rookie driver.
Which I think, Sam, is very tough to pick, because we're looking at a year right now that there's not that many notable rookies other than Camry, honestly.
Yeah, new team standout. I don't know, man. Rookie, I'm gonna say. I mean, in the pro category, yeah, I'm gonna have to say Camry. I think she's gonna be the rookie standout.
New team standout. I think it's gonna be Buddy Hull. As you said earlier in the show, I think for the limited races he will show up to, people are going to have to take note for that brand new team.
Yes, I agree there. I also, though, in combined with that one, Lee, I want to say, and it's not really a new team. Well, it is and it isn't, but I want to say Austin Prock. I mean, with the return of Tobler, I mean, I got to, sit back and watch them get some things together before they went in the staging lanes and whatnot. And Tobler is running. I mean, he's running the show. He's got it going. The late 90s rap music was flowing. I felt like I was watching listening to a pre-Super Bowl halftime show in the pits. I mean, they were jamming. Everybody's having a good time, and so I think that crew right there is going to be I don't want to call it your new team, but that's going to be one of those new team things that we need to watch out for. I mean, you can't beat it. Antron's got a couple of, I shouldn't say a couple. He's got, one new guy with DeAndre on his team now, and he was over at Tascas last year. The Davis Motorsports, Justin Ash's team, they got a new blower guy over there, so I think that's really good. I mean, I'm going to go, if I have to pick, in the top fuel category, I do really like Buddy Halls, but I'm going to go with Austin Prock and what Ron Tobler's doing over there.
You see, I've got the reason I cannot pick Austin Prock, Antron Brown, Ron Capps, or TSR is because even though you have new teams in those situations, so many of the parts and pieces, and I don't mean literally just parts and pieces as in the metallic objects that get bolted together, but the personnel, they have all moved as a unit working
True.
in those situations, in those places. The caliber of a race team that JFR puts out, certainly no doubt with the brain trust that they have and the driver they have in that top field dragster coming back out, they're going to perform well. I think, Kroger sucks mentioning Chad Green is a great statement. Tuned by Tim Wilkerson, going to be making the full pool this year. Pro mod nitrous driver. He knows how to get a car down the track. I think that's a good choice for the funny car ranks. But yeah, man, look, if Ron Capps doesn't perform well this year, that will shock me. Not him performing well. And the same for TSR and the same for Antron Brown. I think if these people hit slumps, that is the story of, what is happening? If they go out and win 5 races, not shocked at all by that.
No, I mean, it's hard to pick, Lee. I mean, I think, look, Lee, this is how we're going to settle this right here, right now. You and I are not giving any more picks until Kroger Sucks 45 tells us why Kroger sucks. That you the people of Power Hour, you need to get on Kroger Sucks 45 and everyone comment and say we want the backstory of why Kroger sucks, and then Lee and I will give you guys more picks. That's how we get out of that one, Lee.
There we go. Well, Sam, man, look, it has been another privilege and honor to host the Competition Plus Power Hour with you. Ladies and gentlemen, we had 2 great guests in Josh Hart and Tony Schumacher that will be duking it out in Top Fuel in 2022. Sam, look, I need to go and just enjoy the rest of my time here in Southern Idaho and get ready to make a trip to Southern California tomorrow.
It looks like I need to come to Southern California too soon. Everyone keeps
It looks
telling
like
me
you do. It looks like you do.
God, I might as well move back there. I feel like I'm there every couple of weeks, but
right.
Yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Right. Hey, before
let me
say this, Mr. PF Flyer, great shoes, by the way. Don't rule out Alexis DeJoria. And I'll say this again, that's another team. I just expect them to do well. If they don't do well, to me, that's the story, not them doing well.
But Lee, you can't say that they're like, that's the thing though. You can't say that they're not going to do well. Look at what you got. Like we have to continue to like turn the page. They
are going to do well. They are going to do well.
But that's what I'm saying. Like so many people are like, well, are they going to do well? Are they not? Are this, whatever. Just let's turn back that little sheet of paper barely. I mean, right now you're looking at the notebook like this, but let's barely go back to last year and go, wait a minute. What did Alexis DeJoria and that team do and Dale do at the end of the year? Like they put the damn fire to everyone at the end of the year. They're like, hey, we're here. She had a couple of, final rounds, semi-final rounds. And then finally she put the pieces to the puzzle and went to the final round and got the win. And after that, they were still on the ball. They were still in the hunt. So everyone wants to, like I said, we're so quick to turn that page on just because that was last year. It wasn't yesteryear. It was last year. It was a couple months ago. So, I mean, that's where we're at. Are we doing pro picks week 1, Lee? Are we going to jump on a live feed and do our pro picks Friday? What are we doing? How are we doing?
No,
this?
I tell you what, we can do pro picks, and I'll give you room to do your pro finals instead of an actual pick if you really want to do that. Go ahead, Sam. Give me the finals for the professional categories at Pomona. I'm waiting. Go ahead.
How about I you know what, Lee? I think we do this. Friday, you call me. We get on a Facebook Live for the Competition Plus Power Hour, and on Fridays, or we can even do it. We can do it Saturday night or Sunday morning. Doesn't matter. We're gonna add another segment, and it's gonna be the pre-race show, and we are going to do live picks just like they do in the NFL. Right then and there, you got boom bang, and this is gonna be our live picks. What do you think about that? You like that idea, or do you still want to go Tuesdays? You guys out in the fans out here, the listeners, what do you guys think? Should we stick to our Tuesdays, or should we go Saturday or Sunday to do our picks? Somebody said, who is this guy, Lee? Sammy don't race, do we? Bro, you don't know me. Meet me in the street. Meet me in the street. That's all I'm going to say about that. Grudge Racer. Let's go. Jeff, Mr. Dragster Jeff. All right. Back to the scheduled program at hand. You know,
yes.
Sam don't race. Woo. Come in there like Mike Tyson.
I think the consensus of the chat is we do it later. So let's do it later.
All right. So that gives me good enough time to make my bracket out round by round.
Right. And then you'll have also the aid of qualifying to make your bracket that much more easier for you in your picking of the finals. Yeah.
I like why?
Who? Hey, just
why
remember.
Why don't you like picking the finals?
Who picked all the right 20, 21 champions? Who? Thank you.
You picked 3/4 of the way or 3/4 of the way in the season, and it was kind of wrapped in a bag.
No, there's documentation. We can go back. We can find it.
I picked the most consistent final rounds that there were. Like, let's go.
My goodness. Sam, you're delusional. It's like picking the two people to go to the Super Bowl. It's got to be a team that wins.
I can still make money on them picking who's going to go.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it has devolved to the justification of an actual winner or people who make it into the final, which is not winning. It's just making it into the final.
Lee, in today's society, you can't leave anyone out. So that way, if I don't pick a winner, no one gets mad. You can't hurt people's feelings.
Get off this show now. There.
Well, I'm Slammin' Sam, Outlaw Performance ENT, and you can check me out on Slammin' Sam. That is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that and above. Bobby Bennett, thank you for the love that you've consistently shown me, my partner Lee, having this show. To you guys out there that yak it up with us every week, we appreciate you guys. The 2022 race season is upon us. Can you guys believe that? Last week we were talking about what it was and what it could be, but it's finally here. You guys stay tuned because we're going to do another whole little segment of our winners, our picks, and I'm not just picking final rounds. I'm going to smash Lee this year, and that's just going to happen. More wins for Slammin' Sam. But this is another episode of Competition Plus Power Hour. Till next week or later this week, we will talk to you guys soon. Keep the pedal to the metal, and God bless. Peace.
smoked him.